I'd like to share with you a devotional and also a book recommendation. So I have both a devotional and a book recommendation. And I want to just talk to you about this situation that you're in right now, maybe this season of life. It could be a pretty difficult time. And maybe you feel like, well, things aren't going the way you hoped or anticipated. And is it possible to consider, well, that God maybe is allowing this to happen because he loves you? That God is kicking out the crutch of every self-sufficiency that you have. If you've found sickness, perhaps that's God bringing you to a place of dependence on him. If financial setback or disappointment, maybe a relationship that isn't going the way that you thought that it would go, is it possible that God is afflicting you because he loves you? In fact, that's exactly the way that David, one of the psalmists, saw God's affliction in his life. And this is what he wrote. He said, "It is good for me that I was afflicted, that I might learn your statutes." It was good for me that I was afflicted, that I might learn your statutes. When God kicks out the crutch of self-sufficiency, all we have left is Jesus. And if we learn that, well, then whatever it is that has brought us to that point, whatever affliction we had to endure, it's worth it. You know, there's a great quote by a pastor named Charles Stanley, and this is what he says. He says, "Jesus is all we need, but we never learn that Jesus is all we need until Jesus is all we've got." Now, right now, you may be finding that Jesus is all you've got, but that is the most important thing for us to learn. And so if you would like to learn more about that, here's a book that I'd like to recommend to you. The book is called Brokenness by Lon Solomon. It's not a new book. You'll have to do some searching to find it, but it's a great read. And I think but I'll just say for me personally, it was incredibly helpful in understanding God's motive in bringing us to a place of brokenness. And so my prayer for you and for me, for us as a church, is that God would bring us to a place of brokenness, not to hurt us, not just to harm us, but to know in our hearts that Jesus is all we need. So I'm praying that for you. Thank you.